exchange rates, high inflation. I don't know whether he's going to say that his economic policies will solve it, but there's exchange rates issue, high inflation, and then high interest rates. Okay. Are you concerned about these? I've heard you talk about losing money recently when the dollar crashed.
I'm very, very much concerned about this.
As president, are you thinking about that?
Yes, of course.
How are you going to achieve that?
First of all, I'm a businessman. Just this morning, I was watching TV, UTV, and it was announced that they have increased, Bank of Ghana has increased the
policy rate
by 1%, 100 basis points, from 27% to 28%. That is ridiculous.
Why?
My brother, in this world, you see, most of industries that are companies that are succeeding in this country are owned by foreigners. Why? The answer is that these foreigners take loans from their country as low rates as 5% to 7%. And they come here. Now, a local businessman like myself going for a loan to compete with an Indian company that produces this bottle of water. And I'm also going to produce this bottle of water. The Indian company came in with an interest
from India Exim.
Right, wherever he comes from, with 5% interest on his loan. Now, if Ghana, the base rate is 28, the banks, the commercial banks, is hovering around
30 something.
40.
Oh, it's already at 40.
Yes. Meanwhile, it should have been +2 or -2.
Of the base, yes.
Of the base. But no system is working.
They don't trust the city.
So everybody is giving any price that he wants. And interest rate is about 40. So how on earth am I going to compete with a company that took a loan with interest of 5% and I took a loan with interest of 42%? Whose product? These two examples here, although they are different shapes, is the same water.
Yeah, same water.
If an Indian is producing this at 10 cedis and I'm producing this at 15, whose product will move faster?
The Indian will move faster.
Fine. So,
yeah, but can Bank of Ghana isolate the people who are borrowing for industry purposes? Not everyone borrowing is borrowing for industry purposes.
I don't know.
Maybe they should do that in terms of policy, that if you are borrowing strictly for industry purposes, it will be cheaper than borrowing for other things, consumption and other things.
Thank you for coming to that. I have an idea called the Asia Miracle. And the Asia Miracle is simple. If you really want to improve this economy, let's adapt the Asia Miracles. Check Korea and see. What they did was that, look, I know gentleman A is into this industry, but he has financial constraint to expand his business. The government comes to you and said that, look, if you want to produce this water, you are doing 10, we want you to do 1,000. What can we do for you? So we need equipment A, B, C. Korean government will not give you the money directly, but they will send it to the source, the manufacturer, and pay for it. What the agreement they have with you is, you say within a year, you'll be able to finish the factory. The first 4 months or 6 months that you promised that the equipment will be in, the date that you gave them, when you have, say, 28, you gave the date 28, on the 30th of January, they are there to check if the equipment have arrived. They'll give you warning if it is not. The second time, they'll give you warning. The third time, they take over the factory or the company and give it to another person.
But it will continue the production?
Yes.
Okay.
Another person.
To do it?
To do it. By so doing, they were able to help their businesses to improve.
Indigenous business.
Yeah. And now they are very, very competitive. When you look at Hyundai and all those.
But it's not the same that Adom-Otchere Martin has been doing it, one district, one factory. It's not the same they did with the Kumfi Jews. It's not the same thing. Government gave them funding. And now the Kumfi is exporting.
You see what is happening. One district, one factory. Perfect. No doubt about it. But now, even today, my steel plant, I had to pay 2,150,000 to clear it because they've removed the exemption. And the furnace just arrived. And I had to pay 2,160,000. One, the exchange rate was, I say exchange, sorry, forgive me. When the waiver was there, I would have paid maybe 160.
Now the waiver has been cancelled.
Right, cancelled. So it shows the importance of the one district, one factory program. Now I'm coughing it. Assuming I don't have that money, the equipment will be sitting at the port. The mortgage will occur.
So you think one district, one factory you will keep?
Yeah.
You will keep that policy?
Perfect. Perfect. But what we have to do to the one district, one factory is that anybody gets up with a dream that President Kufuor says that one district, one factory. So I have a business plan. And from A to Z, he wants the government to fund it. I will do it. Show me the idea you have, the experience you have for government to give you so much money to go and do whatever you want to do. It's important. Because without experience, if you go to small business administration in America, they ask all these questions. If you don't have any experience, I know what I'm talking about because a man has been coming to me severally to go to Exim Bank and speak to the boss and all those things. And whatever they gave him, he's still asking for capital. That, I'm afraid, won't work. What will work? I use a young man in my village that he was into poultry, or he's still into poultry, and he was producing 70 crates a day. He requested $1 million from Exim Bank, and Exim Bank gave him 1 million cedis. Today, this boy, every day, produces 560.
From
crates.
70?
Yeah, from 70. Asimfosu. Go there. It's there. And anytime he brings me eggs, you open it, and it has 2 yolks in it. I don't know how he does it.
I see.
Yes, 1 million. Such a boy, that is the Asia miracle. We need to help him expand. Okay? Not that one district, one factory, everybody comes, oh, I have my business plan. Then the whole government has to give you every peswa. Anything that you do not work hard for it, your heart is not there, the commitment is not there, because the money is not yours. If you sweat and make money, you value it, you appreciate it. So if you go for a loan or government gives you assistance, you will not put it at the back of your mind that, oh, the money is not mine, so I'm going to spend it. So these are some of the approaches that I'm going to use. Let's talk about exchange rate. Exchange rate, whether we like it or not, what we need in this country is simple. This is what I call Asin-Dompim LA Middle School Economics. Let our export exceed import.
Oh, everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. You see, I believe in pragmatic solutions. You know that. You have a nice suit this evening. You are importing rice.
Yes.
About $300 million a year.
Tomatoes.
When we have arable lands from Atebubu or Mampong, Ejura, all the way to Pusiga and Paga.
That will take some time, wouldn't it? Because your competitor, Uzurifri Akoto, says that for the last, since 2017, he has stopped the importation of maize because he's producing maize. Have you heard that?
If you stop importation of maize, it means what? Do you export maize?
At least we don't import.
Yeah, I have a problem. You see, you have to dream big. I have said several times that I will use the 5 northern regions, Afram Place, Accra Place, to feed the whole Africa. Even my team sometimes disagree with me.
Why do you need to be president to do that?
Yeah, because as I speak, we have myself and my partner, we have farms at Atebubu Amantin. We've acquired 125,000 acres. We've cleared 30,000 acres. And we have a starch plant ready. And we have 960 people working. See, I made a statement some time ago and people were being diabolic, saying that I said that anybody who lives in Accra and says that he has made money in Accra and is going to go into farming is a fool. Because that agrarian style of farming, you lose your money. I also disagree that the minister was saying that graduates coming from university should go into farming. What type of farming? What inputs are you giving them? Okay? So if 44 years ago when my brother-in-law married my cousin because he had 2 acres, today still when you go to Adom-Otchere, 2 acres. That is why when you go to Cote d'Ivoire, a population of 21 million against 30 or 31 million in Ghana here, they produce over 2 million tons of cocoa, and Ghana is struggling to produce 800,000 tons. Why? It is because of agrarian style. The minister might have done well, but I have a problem. The problem is he did not think of long term. Because irrigation, we need irrigation. If you want to go into mechanized farming, first thing is irrigation, especially in the north this season. Look, I went there.
One village, one dam by Dr. Baumia
is doing very well.
Is it?
Yes, I was from Wa to Sola, Kaba, and I saw these village dams over there.
It's doing well?
It's doing well.
One village, one dam is working?
Yes, I've seen it. I won't lie. Not that I'm competing with them and therefore I'll come and... No, it's working.
So we should congratulate Alhaji Baumia for that?
I don't have a problem with that.
Will you congratulate him?
Yeah, why
that?
not?
Can you say it?
If he's the one who brought one village, one dam. But honestly, this is the first time you're telling me. Because I know how Akumsin was the one who was doing it. So no problem. But if it's him, we give him credit. Okay. Why not? Mm-hmm. What I don't like about it, they are making propaganda that one district, one village, one dam is not working. I saw it. I went to Northeast and Naregu, I saw it. It's working. The problem we have is, you see, the difference between me and any other candidate is that the theory is too much.
With the other candidates?
Yes, I believe in pragmatism. You have done this. You have one village, one dam. No irrigation, no farms around those dams. You see them just fetching water.
To go and use at home?
Yes, that's it. So what have you done? Use this to irrigate the land, especially this season. So that in South Africa, when I think Johannesburg to Koro or whatever, you see the land. And the Ghanaian girls were telling me that 365 days, there's no shortage of corn or maize.
In South Africa?
Yes. And we can do same here with these dams and irrigation. So anybody who says that Ghana is poor, I don't believe. Ghana, we are not poor. If we are poor, let's ask ourselves a question, why foreigners have come to take over this economy? Why would they take a loan from their country and bring it into this country and make money? We are not poor, but our direction is completely wrong. And we don't blame only government. The individuals, as Ghanaians, if we want to improve this economy, we have to change the mindset of Ghanaians. That is why I said you should play that heroic songs to conscientize Ghanaians to take their destiny into their own hands, believe in themselves. That is the way to move this country.